Welcome to our channel. Today we will move to some more MCQ questions. And in this session, the first question is, char C is equal to 125. So we are declaring a character. We are declaring a character C, and that is initialized with a value 125. Now we are writing a do while loop, do printf percentage DC. So printf percentage DC means what is the D value? This is D means we have to print in the integer format. The C, that is simply 125 is printed. Up to now there is no problem. Simply 125 is printed. Now coming to while C++, what happens? The value of C is incremented by 1. The value of C is 125. If it is incremented by 1, that is 126. 126 is a non-zero number. Non-zero number means again true. So now the C value is 126 is printed. The next iteration 127 is printed. Now observe carefully. Now C value is 128. C value is 128. What happens when the C value is 128? This is a character. The range of characters is minus 128 to plus 127. Why? Because the character has 8 bits. The last 8th bit is reserved for sign. That is, we are only using 7 bits for storing a number. So 7 bits means how many numbers are stored? 7 bits means a maximum of 2 power 7 possible numbers are stored. So what is the range? 2 power 7 means 128. So minus 128 to minus 1. This is the negative side. And suppose if the sign is a positive, if the sign is negative, these are the possible values. If the sign is positive, again to 128, but in this case we are starting from 0. That is the reason 0 to 127. The total number 128, if you start from 0 means 0 to 127 now. So 125, 126, 127 within the range. But whenever C++ C value is equal to 128, what happens? It crosses the range. The range is this one. So the boundary is crossed. In this case, what happens? They are rotated in a cycle fashion. So if we have a number greater than 127 rotated in cycle fashion, what is the number we are getting? 128. So from 128, the left side, the first number minus 128. So minus 128 is the answer. So next number, what is the number? Next number 129. So for 129, so the second number in the sense minus 127, 130, minus 126, minus 125, and so on. Whenever the 0, so one situation, it is 0. Whenever while of 0, condition false means we comes out of the loop. You got it? This is completely a finite loop, 125, 126, and so on, 127. And whenever it is closed, again repeated in a cycle fashion. This one is a very, very important one. Okay. So whenever the while loop condition is 0 means we stop the loop and comes out of the loop. This is the final answer. Clear? Now, double k is equal to 0. For k is equal to 0.0, k less than 5.0, k plus plus. Observe carefully. Here I am using semicolon. What is the meaning? At the end of a for loop, if you are using semicolon, okay, the thing is simply we comes out of the for loop after the terminating condition. After the terminating condition. What is the meaning of terminating condition? And what happens in this example? First to I is equal to, k is equal to 0.0. k less than 5.0, condition is true. Actually, whenever the condition is true, we are entering into the printf statement. That is the body of the loop. But in this case, here I am writing semicolon, means we are not entering into the body of the loop. We are present in the same for loop. We are present in the same for loop. That is, after condition, we are performing increment operation, k plus plus, k value 1.0. 1.0 less than 5.0. Again k plus plus. Again k plus plus. So whenever k value 4, 4.0 less than 5.0, condition is true. Now k plus plus, k value, what is the k value? 5.0. So 5.0 less than 5.0, condition is fail. Whenever condition is fail, we comes out of the for loop. You got the meaning? So at the end of a loop, if you are writing semicolon, means we comes out of the loop after that condition is terminated. So at the time of condition termination, what is the k value? Remember, generally you assume that k value, the last value is 4.0, but that is not the true. If the k value is 4.0, the for loop is executed. So terminating condition means whenever the condition is failed, that is called terminating condition. So at the time of terminating condition, k value is 5.000. So you assume that it is 5.0, but represented in the long float format. That is simply LF means a long double format. It is represented with the 6 digits of precision. Right? Now, one more simple example. Static int I for plus plus I plus plus I plus plus I printf percentage di. If I is equal to 4, break. So this is the program. Here I am not initializing I. What happens? By default, the variable is a static variable. What is the initial value? The variable is a static variable. Initial value is equal to 0. Right? Remember that one. What happens within the for loop? Again, I will rewind the concept of for loop. For initialization, condition, update, here body. This is the syntax of for loop. In this, what happens? First to perform initialization. After initialization, checks the condition. If the condition is true, this is the first step. This is the second step. If the condition is true, execute the body. Execute the body. After completion of the body of the loop, move to update. Update means either increment or decrement some X operation. After updating, again checks the condition. Again checks the condition. If the condition is true, body, and then update, the process is repeated. That is 2, 3, 4. Again 4, that is 2, 3, 4. After completion, again 2, 3. Again 4, 2, 3, like that. Initialization is performed only one time. Body, update, and condition is performed multiple number of times. Okay, right. Coming to this one, what happens? For plus plus I, the meaning is for 1. 1. So, you know the meaning of this one, plus plus I. Meaning is I is equal to I plus 1. That means automatically I value initially 0. Now I value is equal to 1. The meaning of this initialization is here we are writing I value as 1. So initialization is completed. Next semicolon, that is initialization is completed. Next is after semicolon, plus plus I. Plus plus I means I value already updated as 1. Now I value becomes 2. Is the condition is true or false? 100% the condition is true. Why? 2 is a non-zero number. Non-zero number means true. Non-zero number means true. So the condition is true. If the condition is true, what we are doing? Enter into the body. In the body of the loop, we have the first statement is printf percentage di. So 2 is printed on the screen. Okay. Next, what is the next statement? If I is equal to 4, broke. Yes, no. I value, now I value is 2. The break condition is not satisfied. So the body of the for loop is completed. Next, we are moving into plus plus I, right? That is the updation. Up to now, what is I value? Up to now, the I value is 2. So plus plus I means I value becomes 3, right? Again, after updating, we are moving into condition. In the condition, we have plus plus I. What is I value? 4. 4 is a non-zero number, right? So enter into the body, percentage d comma I, 2 comma 4 is printed. If I is equal to 4, so 4 is equal to 4, break. Break means comes out of the loop. So that is the final answer, 2 comma 4. That is 2, 4 is the final answer. So analyze carefully. So every non-zero number is a true. If it is a true, we are entering into the body of the loop. Okay, a simple example. Now, I is equal to 2 for I is equal to 0. What happens? In the first time, I am initializing I with a value 2, but in the for loop, I am initializing I with a value 0. So here the I value 0 only. Why? Because it overwrites. Why? Because this is inside the for loop and 0 overwrites 2. Okay. Here initialization is completed. I plus plus. What is I value 0? 0 plus plus. 0 plus plus means 0 plus plus means this is the post increment. This is the post increment. The condition is failed. If the condition is failed, we comes out of the loop. If the condition is failed, we comes out of the loop, right? And in this case, here I am writing semicolon. Here we are writing semicolon here. Semicolon means we are comes out of the for loop whenever the condition is terminated. Whenever the condition is terminated. So for I is equal to 0 means already condition is terminated, comes out of the loop, right? Now what is I value? What is I value? So after completion of the post increment, then it increments the value. So here what happens? This is the place where we check the condition. Place where we check the condition. So that means here we have two tasks. One task is checking of the condition. Another task is post increment. Another task is post increment. First, what happens? Checking of the condition is performed. So I value is 0 means the condition failed. If the condition failed means comes out of the loop. Okay. So after coming out of the loop, I value is incremented. So what is I value? Here the I value is 1 high. Whether the condition is true or false, high is printed. So 1 high is the output. Suppose the same thing, instead of I plus plus, if I am writing plus plus I, what happens? If I am writing plus plus I, what happens? See, first I is equal to 0, plus plus I means I value is equal to 1. Actually, here we are writing semicolon. If you are writing semicolon means we comes out of the loop whenever the condition is failed. So plus plus I means I value is 1, non-zero number. So what is updation? Printf percentage d comma I. So 1 is printed. Next to plus plus I, 2. 2 is printed, 3, 4. When it stops? So it does not stop. Why? Because this is the pre-increment. Every non-zero number is a true. Every non-zero number is a true. The process is repeated. If it is a post increment, first checks the condition. That is the reason first 0, and that is the terminating condition, and then perform post increment. For example, assume here we are using the same post increment. Suppose if I am removing semicolon here, if you are removing semicolon here, what happens? What happens? So that is also important. Analyze yourself. Suppose I will explain. First to I plus plus, I value is equal to 0. So 0 after comes out of the loop, I value becomes 1. So this printf is completed. And then again printf percentage I. Again 1 is repeated another time. 1 is printed another time. So the process is repeated infinite number of times again. The process is repeated infinite number of times. So here, so when it stops, so always the value is incremented by 1, 1, 1, 1. The same concept, if you are not using semicolon, either using pre-increment or post-increment, the process is repeated multiple number of times, right? Now, A is equal to 10. Within if statement, I am writing printf percentage d a greater than or equal to 10. First, this statement is executed. What is the statement? We are printing percentage d a greater than or equal to 10. That is 10 greater than or equal to 10. Condition true or false? The condition is true. Condition is true means what is the? This is a relational operator. If the condition is true, the relational operator returns 1. So printf percentage d comma 1. So what the value it prints? Simply this entire thing is replaced with 1. So it prints a value 1 on the screen. Printf percentage d1 means it prints a value 1 on the screen. Now the question is, what the printf returns? Observe, 1 is printed on the screen, not in place of printf statement. We already know printf returns the number of characters it prints. How many characters it prints? It prints not the value 1. Observe carefully. Here I am specifying not the value 1. It prints only one variable. So the entire printf statement is replaced with 1. So 1 minus 10, that is the minus 9. Minus 9 is a non-zero number. So condition is true. If the condition is true, we are entering into the for block. We are entering into the for loop. Within the for loop, so no initialization, no condition, no updation. It is completely valid. We can write this one also, break. Simply if you write break, comes out of the entire program. That is, comes out of the loop. Comes out of the loop. So no statement is printed right now. So simply it will print nothing. So generally we are assuming that the error is, that is a compilation error or misplaced errors. It is not completely misplaced errors. Why? If and else. Within the if you are writing for, the break is related to if, not for if. The break is related to for, not if. So if else, it is a perfect statement. After else, we can write semicolon, that is end of a else statement. End of a else statement. Okay. Everything is correct. Everything is correct. Right? Now, this one. I is equal to minus 1 seems a simple example, but analysis of example is very important. I is equal to minus 1, okay. Minus 5 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. If I greater than or equal to 0, what is I value? Minus 5. Is minus 5 greater than or equal to 0? No. If no means we are moving into else block. In the else block, what is I value? I value is incremented. That is, I value becomes minus 4. After minus 4, continue. What is the meaning of continue? Continue means skip the current iteration and moves to the next iteration. Skip the current iteration means after continue, if you writing any statements, those statements are not executed. If you write any statements, the statements are not executed. So obviously, what is the next step? That means this statement is not executed right now. So continue means directly we are moving to this one. So minus 4 less than or equal to 5. Again, if condition is failed, else. In the else, I value is equal to minus 3. Continue. Minus 2, minus 1, 0. So I less than or equal to 5. That is 0 less than or equal to 5. So up to now, from minus 4 to minus 1, the else block is executed. In the else block, we have continue statement. Continue statement means skip the current iteration and move to the next one. Very good. So 0 greater than or equal to 0. The condition is true. If the condition is true means we are executing break. Break means simply comes out of the while loop. Comes out of the while loop. So if you are coming out of the while loop, okay. Now what is the question? How many times high will be printed? How many times high will be printed? So up to now high is printed 0 number of times. Why? Either negative values we are using continue. Whenever the positive comes, we comes out of the loop. So simply high is repeated. One more example. Hash define n greater than 90. What is the meaning of this one? Whenever n value occurred, n is replaced with a value 90. N is replaced with not 90, n is replaced with greater than 90. M is replaced with greater than 80. This is are called macros. See the first statement, P is equal to X into 5. So N, what happens? N is replaced with greater than 90. So X into 5 means 10 into 5. 50 greater than 90. Condition false. So what is the P value? Condition false means P value is 0. Then this statement, P is equal to P plus, that is 0 plus 90 greater than 80. 90 greater than 80 means 1. So what is the P value? 1 is the answer. Simple calculation. 1 is the answer. That is the simple calculation. Okay. Last, we are moving to one more example. I am initializing an array NOM of 5 with 3 values. Remember, here generally this is a one-dimensional array. No need to enclose within this brackets. So if you are assigning in this way, this is not a problem, but it gives some warning. So it can assign the value. For example, 0 index is assigned with 0. That is n number of, that is number of 0 is equal to 0 and so on like that. It gives a warning value, but it produces the output. What happens for I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 4. This is the condition. So condition is true. What is number of 0? So the number of 0 is 0. So the first value is 0. Now move to the update. So in the update, you can write these two statements. Remember, you can write any number of statements. In the update, I am using two statements. First statement, I plus plus, that is I value becomes 1. So number of I value means 1. So number of 1 is equal to 1. Number of 1 is equal to 1. What is the meaning of this one? This is the array. The first index is assigned 0. So I value is equal to 1. That is at the place of 1. Number of 1 means index. Number of 1 means the value at index 1 we are assigning 1. So 1 is printed. In the next iteration, I value is equal to 2. NO of 2 means 2 is the index. What is the value of 2? That is again 2. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the concept. Simply, the index is placed at the value. What will be the output of the following program? So initialize an array A with 5 values. This is 0 index, first index, second, third, fourth. Step by step analysis. First step, I is equal to plus plus A of 1. What is A of 1 value? A of 1 value is equal to 1. So I is equal to plus plus 1. I value becomes 2. Automatically plus plus A of 1 means the value present A of 1 is incremented. That is a pre-increment means actually what happens? First it increments the value as 2 and the 2 is assigned to I. And the 2 is assigned to I. Is clear? Now J is equal to, the statement is completed. Now J is equal to A of 1 plus plus. This is the post increment. What is the value present A of 1? In the previous step, we are updating A of 1 value as 2. Now, always consider the updated value. So, post increment means first to perform assignment and then increment. First to perform assignment and then increment. So, A of 1 value is equal to 2. The 2 is assigned to J. So, J becomes 2. Now, what happens? A of 1 value is incremented. Up to now, A of 1 value is 2. Now, by incremented, the A of 1 value becomes 3. You got it? After assignment, I am incrementing A of 1 value. Next step, M is equal to A of I plus plus. M is equal to A of I plus plus. So, in the case, what is I value? I value is equal to 2. So, simple scenario, M is equal to A of 2 plus plus. Actually, this is the post increment. What happens? First to perform assignment and then increment. So m is equal to a of 2. This is happened first. A of 2 value is 15. So 15 is assigned to m. Now this value is incremented. What is this value? I value is incremented. Up to now, what is I value? 2. By incrementing I value, I becomes 3. Okay. So the 3 statements with evaluation is completed. Now coming to printf statement I. What is I value? The last updated I value is equal to 3. J. What is J value? Observe. The updated J value is 2. M. M value is equal to 15. M value is equal to 15. What is A of 1 value? So observe, what is A of 1 value? 3. So 3. So option C is the correct. So remember, we have to simply step by step analyze carefully what is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. Pre-increment means first to perform increment and then perform other operations. Post-increment means first to perform other operations in the expression and then finally perform increment operation. So in the next session, we will move to some more MCQ questions. Thank you.